got a note, an unsigned note from her neighbor explaining how if she doesn't stop having her yard be relentlessly gay, she's going to call the cops. And the picture that she posted was of this gorgeous line of mason jars that are in multi-rainbow colors that say Aloha and Ohana. Or Ohana, I'm not sure what the other one was.
I think one said love.
Love, and Ohana. Yeah. I mean, and I just went... But I think what got the most of it is that it was relentlessly gay. And I'm like, what about a string of lights that are in colored mason jars are relentlessly
It was kind of cool, like outside art project.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
Yeah, it was really cool. I mean, you can find tutorials on there, on like Pinterest now on how to make these lights. She set it up a funding page because she goes, "You want relentlessly gay? I'll show you relentlessly gay." And she's trying to. I think she's raised over $30,000 now. She's hoping to get a rainbow roof, and I hope she gets it.
I do too.
Because I'm telling you, there's a lot of neighborly. That was real neighborly of the person who leave an anonymous
It's supposed to be
note.
like a Christian neighborhood, and what about the children and everything? I'm like,
So now a rainbow's offensive, or
Exactly.
anything that's in a rainbow. Come on,
I believe that relentlessly gay. That is so hard
It's
to
hard
say.
to
After
say.
a while.
she said it so much
After,
yesterday.
is that I think there's a website now, and I really hope someone makes T-shirts that says that because
For
that
Pride?
I can't imagine that someone is not immediately printing that up because that is one of the funniest things I have ever heard. I was like, oh my god.
And you can't tell in the story. It doesn't mention, and it doesn't matter if the woman is gay or straight. She's a widow with 4 kids, and that's all it states. And so it's like whatever, people.
She's from what I can tell from a picture or two, she has an incredibly whimsical. Yard, and so I'm assuming that my yard must be relentlessly gay because I have a crap load of flowers that are in all sorts of the colors of the rainbow, and I have a brightly colored house. So.
And the house alone is relentlessly gay.
And I'm sure that my house is more relentlessly gay than your guys' house.
I guarantee
is.
that.
Are you a housesexual? I don't know.
I know, but I just felt I'm like, oh, that was just a perfect thing to go viral in June, Pride Month, and all that sort of stuff. Because this woman's like, oh, screw you, people.
That's right.
She wasn't going to put up with that. She's like, I'll show you relentlessly gay. It was like when the person complained about one of my windows. I said, I'll change the damn window, and I did a Clinton Monica Lewinsky window. I said, I never got any shit from this person again.
Good for you. Good for you.
I just drive. I'm like, my windows are so PG. I mean, the stuff at Victoria's Secret is so much more risque than anything I ever do that I just drives me insane.
Who styles the windows at Fantasy Goods?
I do.
You do?
I do have
Yeah.
the one we have left.
We've yanked out a lot of windows because one, I need the floor space and I want the light, and some of the window platforms were deteriorating, so you just need to remodel after a while.
Yeah.
But
St. Louis Park, we still have a window that I enjoy doing every time we change a season or something. And right now, it's a stripper. It's a bridal thing. So I thought I'd go around the bridal thing and do the bachelorette and the bride standing in front of a male stripper wearing one of our cop uniforms with a boom box.
Sweet.
It's
That's
really
fun.
fun.
That is.
I wanted to try to rig a pole up in there, but I thought that might push the ticket.
Michael's over at Home Depot in the plumbing section.
No, we have poles,
We
but
do
yes,
have
but,
poles.
a metal cutter.
but there's the thing is that just like anything, once you take something out of the box, getting it back in the box.
That doesn't go in the same way. It's a lot more difficult.
Oh, how true it is. Oh my God, that's funny. Guys, I don't know if we could call this a transgender dog, but this is a cute, heartfelt kind of story coming to you from Compton, California. This was a rescue, and this is on YouTube, and
Okay.
It's a rescue of 4 dogs, 3 puppies, and a mom, supposedly, from living in a steel yard in Compton, California. Okay, and it's pretty desolate there in the industrial part of Compton. I'm from Southern California, so I know firsthand. And this I can't think of the name of the something for Paws. Hope for Paws, I think, is the organization. It documents this whole rescue, and these puppies, 2 of them had never had any human contact, so they were terrified. And they're these little, they're cute. I mean, they're going to be scrappy looking little dogs. They finally get the puppies and they're just crying and they, take them up. And then they finally get the mom. It's not a mom, it's a dad. And the whole thing about it, the dad was wonton and they're like noodle, cannoli. And they named them, like that, like all pasta, carbs. They're named after carbs. And they're like, God, this is so unusual for a male dog to stay in the picture because, they kind of do their job and take off, in the thing. So we have a kind of a transgender dog, a Mr. Mom, if you will. Isn't that cute?
That is
Mr.
so
Puppy.
cute.
And you got to watch the video. It's heartwarming. And these rescuers
the doggy rescue videos are just amazing because I think I know which company you're talking about. And they occasionally run across my feed because I've got a lot of dog lovers, and I'm just like when they go find the dog that's in the scrap pile, or they're trying to find it, or they find one that's buried in the bushes and they're trying to get the puppies, and they're just because 10 minutes later after they just know that there's going to be love and there's always slobbering and this and that and trying it just but the puppies and so
they're all carbs. I don't know how they're going to adopt them out, but I mean, it's just a cute darn video and a great organization. So I had to give them a little bit of a plug. But by the way, do you guys ever watch Pit Bulls and Parolees?
My daughter really likes that.
Oh my God.
Shows, but I have not.
I cry almost every episode.
Yeah, I think that's one of the reasons I don't go down there is I'm like, no,
But it's
don't. The whole heartstrings and the puppies and the. I don't have a dog. I live vicariously through other people's dogs. I have friends that are very heavily involved in the greyhound. Stuff
cool.
like that.
Yep.
And with the animals, and there's just dogs all over it. And so, but I just have a hard time sometimes with some of the some of the things that it's like dogs and kids. I don't want to see anything bad happening to dogs or kids. It's not entertainment.
I can't watch that either. I'm too emotional.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just fascinated with the true amazing work that they do though. I'm riveted. And of course I'm a 2 pit bull household all of a sudden. And so I'm hooked, it's kind of but I get that. It is kind of hard. There was something that you said about, I don't know. I'll think about it later. So
sounds reasonable.
Yeah. So, but we'll have 2 pit bulls in the studio pretty soon. Greta's almost ready for prime time. She's getting there. She's being trained. So, you're gonna love this one, Colleen. There is an event coming to Toronto this summer called Deliciously Disabled, and it's being thrown by a woman who wants to dispel the fear and stigma around disabled people and sex. And so.
They're supposed to be asexual, just like old people aren't supposed to have sex and all that sort of
something
stuff.
like that. And the event's going to be, it's not really a huge event, but there's room for 25 people with wheelchairs and 40 standing, and non-disabled people are also welcome. She's setting up burlesque performances. People will be allowed to wear masks, attend sex toy workshops, which is cool. I know you guys are all about that. And people are allowed to have sex if they so choose. But they said, she wants to get the fear away from it. And she said, what people don't realize is that people that are disabled do have a libido, and they are not necessarily easily injured in sex. So kind of an interesting one coming up this summer.
No, I can see that. She's just starting it. I can see that growing.
Yeah.
Because there's, excuse me.
Yeah.
But I mean, even just the amount of veterans coming back.
Yeah,
from the past
true.
12, 13, 14 years of war here. Plenty of folks are going through there. And these are vital young people that have had, their things going on. They're not going to stop having sex.
Well, good.
No.
They shouldn't.
There's no reason to.
If anybody deserves to have some fun, it's the people that have served.
Yeah. Stephen Hawking fathered a bunch of folks. He's been in a wheelchair for years. I mean, it's not it's happening. It's sort of like it's something that nobody ever talks about. And, so they're going to talk about it because I'm sure that some folks, depending on their support system, don't feel like they have, that they're alone.
Yeah.
And that's one thing people really. A lot of times there's 7 billion people on the planet. More than likely, you're not the first person to ever have that thought, feeling, or action.
I know, isn't it funny? We all think we're the first one.
Yeah, no. There's folks out there. I think that's one thing that, there's been some, there's real crap that happens on the internet, but I think it's been able to, bring people together that just not sure if they're alone, and they're not.
That's great. No, I hats off. I think that's a great idea. I'm telling you right now, this is our little Great Northern Sex Cast public service announcement. If you're single and if you're planning to hook up, don't do it in Rhode Island. They've got a dubious achievement. Listen to this. According to their state version of their CDC, their sexually transmitted diseases are huge. I mean, they've like skyrocketed in the last couple of years. Listen to this: HIV up 33%. Between 2013 and 14, gonorrhea up 30%, syphilis 79% increase year over year, and their health officials there are saying, well, you know, they're blaming social media, that people are hooking up easier, but they're getting hammered and not using condoms and safe sex, and you know, they're doing it all under the influence and all of that. And I guess the hardest hit portions of the communities are gay and bisexual men, African Americans, Hispanics, and young adults. So it's really kind of frightening. And there was also a study out of New York University that literally blamed Craigslist for a 16% increase in HIV cases between about a 10-year span nationwide.
I think it has a lot to do with the fact that it's easier to meet people, and a lot of diseases just are out of people's mindsets, whether they're not learning about it because education programs have been cut, or they're just, you know, useless to the point of being, you know, idiotic to the point of being useless. But I don't think there's a memory in folks that are even 20 or in their early 30s of what it was really like to have a lot of, you know, to deal with syphilis or gonorrhea or HIV.
Yeah.
They're just, you know, they just don't think about it.
Right.
I mean, but I find it fascinating that it's Rhode Island. You would think that a larger community, I mean, or is it, maybe it's just the percentages? I mean, you know,
yeah, it's the percentages that's why the article was written on them, because
because there's not that many people there.
That's too high
I know when you're playing license plate bingo, it's really hard to find Rhode Island.
Yeah, that's very true.
They're there having sex.
That is very, very, very true. Okay, on another note, this is funny stuff right here. This is not your average tax protest in Australia. Prostitution is legal there, apparently. And there's it's Austria, not Australia. Austria. They are offering a summer special, and it's effective immediately. Free sex. Free entrance, free drinks, free sex. And check this out. The owner says it's his way of protesting tax squeeze. I guess that Herman Mueller, and he runs several brothels, is going to pay the women working to make up for what they would normally make from their customers. And he said the tax office keeps just jacking up the rates. And he goes, I'm tired of being the tax man's pimp. And I guess it's really... he says he's had an increase of in taxation of more than $5 million over 10 years, and this was verified by the fact checkers at the news outlet that brought the story up. That yes, they are offering free sex in Austria. So, you know, if you can hop a plane,
well, it's about a $2,000 plane ticket from the U.S. to there, because I know that's one of the reasons I'm not going to Spain is because I just could not figure out. I just could not justify the amount that it takes to get to Europe right now in the summer.
Yeah.
So I don't know how free that is, but I can see that obviously in Austria they're doing the same thing they probably do here. Instead of, you know, the sin taxes are supposed to, you know, take care of everything else versus, you know, making a much more equitable or, you know, or fair tax. Because, I mean, there are costs to living in a civilized society. Somehow people just don't want to pay for it, so they shove it onto the cigarettes, or they shove it onto the booze, or this or that.
The things that everyone enjoys.
Yeah, I mean, to some extent it's good, but you could spread it out a little bit more. Yeah. And it sounds like, you know, that it's hard to say, you know, say no to something like that.
For sure. You know, when I thought this was Australia, I read it initially incorrectly, and it's Austria. So now I guess we can say the hills are alive with the sound of
yeah,
you know, going on over there. Nevada, though, not so good. The brothels are having a terrible time. A lot of them are closing because I guess, and they blame it on the fact that police are not cracking down on illegal sex within the, you know, because all the brothels are outside of the Las Vegas city limits.
Takes. I mean, you got to rent a car. You got to drive all the way out there. I mean, that's so much work when someone's just sitting in the bar in the casino, I bet.
Yeah. They're really, really having trouble. So they're calling their struggles out there. The headline on the story was "Survival of the Freakiest." So they're all like trying to, you know, promote and, you know, and get past people outside the city back into the brothels. But the number of brothels has been cut in half in the last decade out there. So kind of an interesting trend out. And so everybody's just, watch. Let's see about the HIV and everything else.
Unless they take Austria's advice and start giving away for free. Get the people back in, a little freebie.
Yeah, for sure.
Stamp card.
Punch cards. Oh my God. Well, that's an interesting punch card.
Every 12th, you get a free blowjob.
Is it like the glory hole card? No,
there you go.
sorry.
We should market for them.
Colleen's holding her head and shaking her.
No.
Okay.
All right.
We'll straighten up. Or not. Finally, the Sex Pistols. You guys remember the Sex Pistols, and obviously Sid Vicious is gone. But I actually met Johnny Rotten once. Believe it or not, when I was still a reporter, I was out in California covering the 2000 presidential election.